So many congratulations there. Hannah Lee getting a bronze medal for the women's discus, and should be very happy with that, as well as we also reminded you earlier, Michelle Sung getting the bronze for the women's high jump. Okay, UK Shyam is here with us. We're going to be talking about the big one, the relays, the 4x100 relays. Can't wait for that.
Yeah. Yes, very exciting stuff. I know that that's one event that you're really looking forward to watching.
Definitely.
Which one are you more excited about, the men's or the women's? Like, what do you, the dynamics?
I think both are going to be exciting, but I guess more the men's, because I'm like closer to them, and I used to run with them like many years ago, so looking forward to both.
So tell us about that. Since you've run with them before, these were your teammates. Talk about the dynamics of the team and what maybe the strategy will be in order for them to
Yeah, well, okay. The guys have been running together for about 6 years, so there's this great synergy between them.
Okay.
And in terms of passing, their passing is really good. And there's also depth, because we have quite a few runners that can run around 1060 and below. Even though one of them was injured, Alfie, I think he had an injury in the 200. We have other runners that are as fast or possibly faster, right? And so it's going to be interesting, because I think they will put, they need a fast starter, so they'll put Kelvin Kang at the first leg. Someone who has good speed endurance, they're putting Gary Yeo probably at the second leg. A good curve runner. When you need a good curve runner, you usually put a 200 man. So we have probably Lee Cheng Wei at the third leg, and Amir at the last leg. So it's going to be quite a strong lineup.
So obviously in a relay, the fact that you're using your arms, that's very different for what a runner normally does, where he just has to concentrate on his legs.
Yeah.
How likely is it that during the pass of the baton that your time increases? Is that normally what you try to shave off? Because you've got the running already.
Yes. Okay, the interesting thing is the relay is about how fast the baton travels, right? So you need to make sure that the baton speed doesn't decelerate when you're making the pass. So what they do is they try and ensure that the incoming runner passes the baton to the outgoing guy, when he's at his maximal speed. So everything has to be sort of adjusted in that sense. The arm needs to be very, you have to lock it there. You need to make sure that it's at the right height, so that it's a seamless pass. So it's really, really meticulous and looking at every detail.
We say that, of course, but I've seen many a baton relay go down pretty badly.
Right. I think the Jamaicans have dropped batons, the Americans, who are always favorites, precisely because it's a split-second exchange. It's so high pressure. Everyone's shouting up at the relay zone. Sometimes you can't hear, and you put up your hand at the wrong time. Another interesting thing is that you don't only need to be a good 100-meter runner, but you need to be able to move beyond the 100 meters, because the relay is actually about 120 meters.
Yeah.
So if you can only manage 100 meters, and then after that you start fading away, then you won't be coming in at a high speed. So there's a bit of speed endurance involved.
And as far as the one who's receiving the baton as well, they have to do it, of course, in a certain area, don't they?
In a certain area, because there's a passing zone, he needs to ensure that he takes off right on time. And this thing happens to a lot of people, because it's a relay final. You get anxious, and then sometimes if you move off before the incoming runner hits the mark, that's when you get a missed pass. So these kind of things can happen to anybody.
Very exciting stuff. Thank you for that, Shyam. We're going to chat again with you in just a bit. But first, we're going to head for a break, but keep it right here only on Octo for all the live action of the 28th SEA Games.
We're not far away from the two big athletics events later today. I know we're certainly very excited about it here. It's the 4x100 meter relays in the men's and women's categories. UK Shyam is here with us to discuss all that's going on there. Let's look a little bit closer at Team Singapore first. And Luis Cunha, of course, is the coach for the relay team.
Yes.
Or the sprint coach as well. He wants a gold medal apparently, but he's got a pretty tough time, hasn't he? Because Thailand have won 23 out of 27 goals previously.
Yes, since when I was running, they were always, the favorites, a class above the rest, but maybe not this time. Kuna is really, really a technical coach. I've seen him, with the guys, really meticulous. But this time it might be possible. Okay, the Thais ran 39:38 about 3 weeks ago, and I think that is still the fastest time by a Southeast Asian team this year. That being said, we saw over the past few days they weren't running especially.
Yeah.
I mean, good. They were medalists, but we thought Jirapong would win the 100. He didn't, and in the 200 also he was third. So that means they might be beatable in a sense, right? But they do have another 200-meter man who was second in 21:05, and having fast 200-meter men is a good thing in the relay because it means that you can run the longer distance.
For sure. Thank you for that. Speaking of the Thai powerhouses, let's take a closer look at their running team.
Thailand's women 4x100 relay teams are practicing hard ahead of the upcoming SEA Games. Veteran sprinter Patson Jasunin has been a member of this team that dominated the relay event at all the games since 2003. And she is confident that this team will perform well in Singapore, but are also wary of the competition.
ครั้งนี้น่าจะเป็นเวียดนามแล้วก็สิงคโปร์เจ้าภาพแล้วก็มาเลเซียค่ะเพราะว่าครั้งก่อนเวียดนามก็คว้าเหรียญเงินได้ค่ะเราจะไม่ประมาททีมใดทั้งนั้นค่ะ
The men are just as, if not more ambitious, aiming to win many gold medals this year after dominating at the last SEA Games in Naypyidaw, Myanmar.
ก็ระดับแรกเราตั้งเป้าไว้แค่เอาเหรียญทองก่อนครับแล้วก็สถิติคือผลพลอยได้ก็แล้วกันแต่ทางทีมเราก็หวังว่าสถิติจะดีกว่าที่เคยทำได้
Besides the sprints, Thailand's athletic coach says that his team is also looking to win many of the field events despite a high number of youth in their ranks.
โดยภาพรวมนั้นล้านเนี่ยเราถึง8-9เหรียญทุกครั้งมามี16เหรียญแล้วได้กว่าครึ่งบางครึ่งหนึ่งก็เราเชื่อมั่นครับว่าเราจะเป็นเจ้าSEA Gamesอีกครั้งหนึ่งแล้วก็หลายรายการก็เป็นเด็กใหม่ๆปีนี้มีเด็กเยาวชนติดมาประมาณ23คน
Thai athletes broke 5 SEA Games record in the last games, setting new marks in men's 110 meters hurdles, hammer and javelin, as well as women's discus and pole vault.
Well, there you have it, a closer look at the very strong Thai team, which of course we have to face in the coming races.
Absolutely right. It's going to be a tough one, isn't it? Because we are hoping to get gold apparently in the men's, and the Thais will be up for it, particularly because the man we just heard that Jirapong has failed to get gold, hasn't he?
Yeah, but don't forget the Indonesians. Yeah. They broke the national record twice this year, and I think they've run about 39:40. And two of the medalists in the 100 are from Indonesia, Bobby Yaspi and Iswandi. So I think the Indonesians will be really fast as well. It's going to be like a 3-horse race.
Well, the really upsetting thing, as far as Singapore is concerned, of course, we always talk about the Thais, Indonesians, and Vietnamese, but now we've got the Filipinos to worry about as well. But they've been doing quite well, haven't they?
They're really good, but I think that they are better in the longer sprints. One thing that's interesting is we should try and look at the lane allocation. Oh, okay.
So
okay.
How are we in the 6th lane?
Well, I don't think it's that great because we can't see what's happening on the inside. It would have been better if we were in lane 4 and then we could see Indonesia and Thailand outside of us.
So you think we're already at a bit of a disadvantage?
Slight disadvantage in that sense, but I guess in the 4x1, this is the women's, right?
Yes.
In the 4x1, everything happens so fast, you can't actually afford to focus on what's happening around you.
Okay, UK Shyam, thanks for that. We're going to stick with these pictures now and check out how the 4x100 women's relay goes and enjoy the action.
T2 Hart will start off proceedings for Vietnam.
Bronze at Naypyidaw in the last games. Let's welcome the team from Indonesia.
Louisiana Satriani will bring them home for Indonesia.
In lane 5, they are the defending champions. They won gold at Naypyidaw.
Kipat to kick off proceedings for Thailand. Tasapurn Wanakit,
from Thailand.
silver medalist in the 100-meter sprint, will bring them home. They'll be very strong late, Thailand.
And in lane 6, ladies and gentlemen, led by in. Dipnalin Prasad, Shanti Pereira, and Smithy Menon. Singapore in lane 6.
Pereira being used as the third change here.
In lane 7, the team from the Philippines.
Catherine Santos to kick off proceedings. And the winner of the 100, Kayla Anise Richardson, is going to be the last runner. Very interesting indeed.
And in lane 8, the team from Malaysia.
Here are the Malaysians.
The women's 4x100 meters relay.
So a fascinating 4x100 meter relay here, as we see the two runners that fought out the 100 meter sprint in Tasapur and Wanakit, who went on to finish 5th in the 200, and also the winner, the gold medalist Kayla Anise Richardson for the Philippines in 7. Can they get close enough to give Richardson a hope? The finale for the women's track program, the 4x100 meters. Inside to outside from lanes 3 onwards, Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, Philippines and Malaysia. They're ready and away they go at the first attempt. And Malaysia off to a pretty good start, and also Singapore has begun fairly with Thailand already on their hammer. Now here's the first change. Looks pretty clean from all involved. Thailand's going very strongly indeed. If you work through the staggers, it might be Thailand in front, Philippines second at this point. The third change, Pereira's got the baton here for Singapore. They're close enough, Singapore, to worry them for a medal here. Coming around the turn, Malaysia just in front, but Tasapur and Wanakit's going to get the baton for Thailand. Thailand are in the box seat, and now Vietnam on the inside are chasing. It's Thailand in front. Vietnam 4 meters away, but Wanakit will bring them home. It's Thailand first, or Singapore's in a decision for third. For bronze, it'll be a photo finish. 44.23 the time. And a great performance by the Singapore team, with Veronica Pereira the star, with Singapore's track gold medal as well. And to my reckoning, we still don't know. No, it's going to be Malaysia for a bronze medal, just ahead of Singapore. But it's a big win for Thailand. And now it's time for the victory ceremony following the women's 3,000 metre steeplechase. And a win here.
Oh my goodness, that was all kinds of exciting. We got very caught up in that game.
Yeah,
But congratulations, of course, to the Thai team who ended up taking home the gold. Kudos to them, though. What a great performance.
Very well done. I'm still trying to get over what happened in that third, fourth place, Singapore, Malaysia. It looked like they got the same times.
It did.
Shyam,
They went to a thousandth of a second
yeah,
to
it looks like
differentiate. Yes.
Malaysia might have just pipped us to it.
Yeah, very sad. I wish that we got a bronze.
But the amazing thing was, when we were talking about this earlier,
Yeah.
we weren't really talking about the girls being in contention at all, were we? So
Yeah.
this is
So
incredible.
they really performed credibly, and the last leg, Singapore, Smriti Menon ran really well. Shanti also, a blistering third leg. Everyone, I think, ran really well. So, well, very happy.
I'm no expert, Shyam, of course,
Yeah.
and you are, but did it seem there was a slight hesitation with the handover of the baton in the between third and fourth, Shanti and Smriti?
I don't think so. I think it was okay. Probably, I think this one is more an issue of the ground speed. Let's have a look. No. It was quite a nice exchange, right? At the end of the zone, you pass the baton at the end of the zone, then you ensure that the baton gets to the other person and the person is traveling at the highest velocity possible.
And you thought for a moment that it was actually out of the zone.
Yeah, it was so, but people usually want to pass as late as possible within the limits of the zone. Because if you pass it early, then the outgoing runner is still accelerating.
Exactly. He
Yeah.
hasn't reached his maximum
Maximum
speed
speed,
yet.
yes, correct.
Well, there you have it. Thailand victorious with the gold in that very thrilling race.
Yeah, I think they'll be very pleased with that, the Thais, as we thought they might be.
Yeah, I mean they have been, it's been years and years, they're used to this.
Vietnam in second place, and it looks like Malaysia have got the bronze medal. You did feel sorry for the Singapore women team there,
Yeah,
because they were
less
all
than
hoping,
centimeters. Probably,
yeah, fingers crossed, prayers and everything, and they just fell short.
To the thousandth of a
the
second.
thousandth of a second.
Yeah.
But as you said, absolutely delighted for the way they performed.
Yeah, spirited performance, really amazing. Wow, it's a promising future.
But Shyam, that's really the thing about sports, isn't it? It's nothing personal. It's really about the numbers that you get.
Yeah, exactly. And the difference between the first and the second is, it's so minor that sometimes you just feel sorry.
Exactly. There's bound to be a heartbreak either way.
Yeah, definitely. But credit goes to them. I'm just so in awe at the way they ran. Excellent stuff.
Looking at the way they position the runners, and of course everyone's been talking about Shanti Pereira, would you have expected her to be in that final leg instead of third?
Actually, they could have also put her at the second leg because she's a 200-meter runner, and the second leg is probably the longest leg. But Dipna being a long strider, Dipna being a 400-meter runner, I think it's good that they put her at Dipna at the second leg. They probably put Shanti at third leg because she's a 200-meter runner, and so she can run the curve very well, right? And last time when I was in college, my coach always said that the third leg is where you see all the changes happening.
Right.
So it's actually a underrated yet very important leg. You can see all the differences happening at the third leg.
And to be fair to her, Shanti made up a lot of ground, didn't she?
She did. She made up a lot of ground, but Smriti Menon really ran impressively. I think this is her first SEA Games, and she never faltered. She just went pushing all the way. So I think the lineup was a great lineup.
Well, we had the women's 4x100 meter. We have
What a
the
race.
men's coming up very, very soon. But first, let's go for a short break, but keep it right here on Octo.
A very good evening to you. If you've just joined us after work, welcome to MediaCorp's coverage of the 28th Southeast Asian Games. You may have just missed a very dramatic 4x100 women's relay. We're still catching our breath here, and I have to say there's an air of disappointment here in the studios because Singapore looks to have been pipped to the bronze medal by Malaysia by, it looks like, just hundredths of a second. They had identical times, thousands of seconds, sorry, exactly. That's how small the margins were.
Yeah.
UK Shyam is here to discuss things with us, and got to say, we really thought they ran their hearts out. And
They ran their hearts out.
to be fair, they probably ran above expectations.
Amazing. I don't think we've ever had a women's team that was so close to medal contention, and wow, they held their own. They were not outclassed. They really scared everyone. Excellent stuff.
And of course, the wonderful thing is that because the team is still fairly young, we've got time to train.
Exactly. I think Smriti this is her first SEA Games, and to put her at last leg, the last leg is a very stressful leg because that's where everything happens. To put her there and to see the way she ran, right? She didn't waver. She was not stressed out. Didn't take off early. It's really encouraging for us.
What would it be like for Smriti? Because it was really tight for her right at the end against the Malaysian runner, and it comes down to leaning forward. Is it a technique thing? How would she be feeling as well right now?
Wow, okay, the thing is that I'm not sure whether she saw what was happening on the outside because the Malaysian they were 2 lanes away, right? And sometimes if you try and dip too early, you actually slow down.
Right.
So thankfully she didn't try and do that, and she just sort of ran through. She seemed very focused and aggressively, just pushing forward. So I think she did the best that could have been possibly done from a technical standpoint.
Looking at the team as a whole, how do you think we can shave off, say, a few more seconds in order to perhaps be closer to the Thai who were phenomenal in this race?
I think for this one it comes down to the ground speed. When we improve our basic 100-meter times, and if the passing is already good, then the relay time will automatically just improve. So everyone just needs to work on their 100-meter time, and that will come. The 44 will come with training.
Have you ever been in this situation where you've come this close in a relay or even in a individual race?
Yeah, several times. I think in my first SEA Games, fresh out of college, and that was in Jakarta. I think we photo finished with the Indonesians, and I was the last leg.
Oh.
So wow, it's stressful, exciting, and then you're standing at the last leg, and then you can see the whole crowd, but it really pumps you up. So.
Well, that's the women's 4x100. Let's look ahead now to the next event, which of course is the men's.
Yeah.
Excited?
Excited. Can't wait. I've waited like the whole games to watch this event.
Well, what's interesting, of course, is when we talked about the men's and women's relay, we said that the women's would have to work really hard, and they did.
Yeah, they did.
To get anywhere near medal contention. But here, for you think the men do have a shout?
I really think that our guys have a chance. Because our guys, they are class act, they're running 39 seconds, they've broken the 40-second barrier. No other Singaporean relay team has done that, and they've been running together for 5 years. What's interesting is we need to actually look at maybe the other teams. The Thai starter is actually really fast. He has a personal best of a 10:41, and actually he was supposed to run the 100. But he was injured, and then I was speaking to someone, and then they were saying that they were saving him for the relay.
Oh, strategic.
Yeah.
So he was injured, maybe, or who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, but he's gonna come out like a lightning bolt at the first leg. And the man we always talk about, Jirapong, is running the third leg, but he's still fast.
He's got a point to prove.
He's got a point to prove after losing both in the 100 and the 200. And the Thais are very. They are very traditionally. They've always ruled in the 4x1, so they are not going to let this go easily.
Okay, thanks, Shyam. We're just going to return back to that 4x1. Welcome back to the National Stadium. We are very close to the 4x100 men's relay final. Singapore there in lane 4. UK Shyam is with us. What do you make of that, lane 4? How do you feel?
Lane 4 is a nice lane. It's a good lane because you can see. You can see everyone else on the outer lanes.
Except the favourites.
Yeah, Thailand's on the inside, and Indonesia is right outside on lane 8. So I think Indonesia is disadvantaged in a sense because they won't know what's happening on the inside of them.
But do you think that's good for our boys to be sort of just behind Indonesia so that they can pace themselves well enough to the end?
I think so. They can see everyone, and you always can aim for the person in the next lane because the person in the next lane will have the stagger that's outside. So that's nice. It's nice in that sense. This is a Thai sprinter who has run about 10:41 about 3 weeks ago.
This is the guy you're talking about.
Yes, this is the one. And then here we have Kelvin.
Okay, thanks, Shyam. We're going to cross over to our commentators, and joining the action, we'll be back with more analysis afterwards.
The first leg, Gary Yo, the second leg, Lee Cheng Wei, the third leg, and the anchor leg, Mohammad Amiruddin Jamal. In lane 5.
Now for Malaysia,
It's the quartet
introducing
from Malaysia.
this quartet, we've got Jonathan Nayapa and Nixon Kennedy is going to bring them home.
In lane 6, Brunei Darussalam. In lane 7, the team from Laos. And in lane 8, ladies and gentlemen, Team Indonesia.
Fadlin was a force in the 200 final, and
The men's
They
4x100
will
meters
be
relay final.
brought home by a very quick athlete as well. As the field lines up here for this, the men's 4x100 meter relay. Lining up. The finale of any athletics meet in the multi-discipline events, the 4x100 meter relay, and always finishes on a spectacular note. What can Singapore produce here? They're in lane 4. Ready to go, 4x100 metres for the men away at the first attempt, and Kang got off away quickly. So too Indonesia. Fadlan's giving them a very good start. So it's into the second leg they go. Clean changes there by everybody, including Brunei in the centre. Malaysia's picking up some ground. Singapore's going okay as well as they come towards the next change into the third leg. Indonesia a little bit sloppy, and now it's Malaysia in second, Singapore still third, and look at Thailand. Sathoangram's going to get the baton for the final time for Thailand. Thailand lead, Singapore's giving them a race. Thailand just in front of Singapore and Indonesia. Thailand first, Singapore a big effort second, Indonesia third, Malaysia fourth. 38.99 was the time, just outside the game's record. Thailand take a clean sweep of the 4x100 metre relays in women and men's. But what a performance from Singapore. Kelvin, Kang, Jamal, Wei. Outstanding stuff. Singapore have run a blinder and a deserved silver medal. They put themselves in the picture and gave themselves every chance. But Thailand, as always, were there to pounce, as they all got away pretty cleanly. Malaysia, they got off to a really quick start for them. And also Brunei wasn't that far away in the early stages, but then the speed from Singapore in the second and third leg set them up nicely for a run at the finish. And in the end, as we tracked them, it was a great duel up the straight between Thailand and Singapore. But Thailand just had a little bit of acceleration there at the final change. Indonesia were hanging tough. Malaysia in fourth place. Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia. But what a great way to finish the track and field program here at the National Stadium, with a silver medal to Singapore. The final leg, Jamal really putting in, but he held his ground. And that's the way they finished in the 4x100 metre relay. The power in the legs of Jamal in the red for Singapore, the baton in the left hand, and held his ground beautifully, ran a very strong final 100 metres. Final change, everything nice and clean there, as the winners rejoice, and the final leg run by Sir Thothengram. They'll be able to swap the baton with a medal shortly. It's Thailand gold, Singapore silver, Indonesia a season's best in the bronze.
Well,
That was absolutely incredible. Congratulations, of course, to Thailand for taking the gold, but well
Yeah.
done, Team Singapore. That was completely unexpected. We were up on our feet cheering. The boys
a lot of
definitely
noise, I can tell you.
rose to the occasion. We get to take home the silver in that one. Very excited. I know you are just overjoyed.
Wow.
It was a great race, wasn't it, Shyam?
Great race. The guys ran like, crazy fast. I think we broke a national record again. So we reduced it by 0.2. So that's the fastest relay team ever. Singaporean relay team ever.
And
So a bit of history there for Team Singapore. Excellent.
how much stronger do you think the team is as a whole now, as opposed to when you were racing with them? Have they come leaps and bounds?
Yeah, they've improved. I mean, the fact that they just broke the national record just says a lot, right? The Thais are amazing. I think the last leg is really fast. He's the one that got the silver in the 200. He ran 21.05. So, I mean, we thought that we could topple the Thais, but the Thais are really a class act as well.
You know, it looked like we were almost neck and neck in that
Yeah.
final leg, didn't we?
We were. They got the baton just a fraction in front of us, but we were neck and neck. But
And then he just raced away with it. And that's the guy, as you said, who was rested for the 100 meters.
Suwon, the starter, was the one that was rested, and the guy that they put at the last leg was the
10.4.
silver medalist at the 200.
Yeah.
21:05. So that means, wow, the home straight is where he's used to running.
And he was pretty comfortable in the end.
He was running aggressively, but I mean, Amir ran an amazing leg as well. All of them, wow, I'm so like
Thrilled.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled and really happy for them for the new national record. You know, things are moving forward. The fact that you break your national record, it shows that, you know, the sport is moving ahead. So it's really encouraging.
Absolutely, and of course, having the fact that Singapore is now on the scoreboard in these relays, it's something to be proud about.
Yeah, and the time, it's not only the fact that we got a silver, but it's a time. 39.2 is going into below 39 already. So I think we are really like Asian class.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, it will be the victory ceremonies for those relays. Do stay with us.